morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Good day, everyone. My name is Dũng. I'm basically just a software engineer, like all of you guys, I guess. And in last year, I had lots of trouble with dependency management. For those who don't know what is a dependency, let me explain. A dependency is the software that your project relies on. And basically, it can be a language, a framework, or a library that you're using in your project. Back to my issues with dependency management. My client have been pushing really hard to make sure that our dependency up to date, ensuring that we are not exposed to any vulnerabilities due to our dependencies. To be honest, that was tough at the beginning. However, it's getting much better with a tools that has gained a wide recognition over the last few years. It's called Dependabot. So today, I'm very excited to share with you how could Dependabot help you in patching vulnerabilities and update your dependencies. Before we start, let's take a look at some numbers. So we all use open sources, right? And open source receive updates regularly because the community has access to the source code. However, fast evolving comes with a drawback, as you can see on the screen. Based on the study from Sonatype last year, 245K Mozilla packages have been found this year. It's 2x compared to all previous years combined in 2019, which is a huge amount of Mozilla packages. And Mozilla packages can lead to very critical consequences like data breaches, security vulnerabilities, or even a compromise of the entire system. And there's also 12% of open source downloads have been identified as non-risk. And even worse, that 90% of vulnerable downloaded release have a fixed version available. So you can see that people are delaying updating updates. And a lot of projects out there, they are using vulnerable dependencies, which is absolutely not good, right? Something is wrong here, sorry. Okay, so before we deep dive into our discussion, I would like to have a sense of your experience with the security updates. So can I have a quick show of hands? Can I?
Everyone?
Thanks. So, how many of you have actively checked for the security updates in your project in the last month? Just raise your hands. Anyone? No? Okay, no worries. So we gonna explore some effective strategy for you today with Dependabot that could help you to check the security updates. So no worries. All right. And here, actually that was me. When I received the request from the client to update the dependencies. If you have the same feeling, so please try to look into your dependencies, because believe me, this is a horrible experience for me. I received the a legacy project, a system that has been built for over 6 or 7 years already. And there are a lot of packages that were 2 or 3 major versions behind the current, the latest version, which is really not good. And I spent a lot of time to upgrade each version. So this is horrible. Try to into your dependencies and assess the current state as soon as possible before it getting worse. All right. So allow me to introduce myself a little bit. So yeah, my name is Dung. I'm a technical architect in NFQ Vietnam, and I bring over 13 years of in the software development world. And throughout my career, I had opportunity to work in various domains like marketing, e-commerce, and travel industry. About programming languages, I speak mainly currently PHP, sometimes JavaScript, Ruby, and C# as well. So you may be wondering why people are delaying applying updates. It's all about manual processes of updating dependency. It's really a time-consuming process because you need to monitor, check, assess, and update dependencies manually. It's really repetitive and tedious process. And this is also, you can miss critical updates because as I mentioned before, open source release update regularly, and it's very easy that you miss critical updates because of manual process. You need to manual check, and sometimes you just make mistake. And leave your projects to expose to vulnerable securities. And last one, that lets the human as true errors in the process, because you can easily introduce the potential the bugs in the production environment. The automation now is the key, because the automation is not only help you to improve the code quality, but also the security update, and give your time to develop and implement the new features instead of making sure that you are updated. Since now we have set the stage for the automation, then we can look into the Dependabot workflow. So we have Dependabot, right? Dependabot ensure monitoring the package managers. So Dependabot already supports a lot of package managers, as you can see on the screen. We have packages for PHP, Maven for Java, NuGet for .NET, Ruby Gems, yeah, for sure Ruby, and NPM. This is a very famous one, so you all recognize them. And Dependabot actively scan for updates on the package managers. One of outstanding features of Dependabot is opening pull requests. So we all know pull requests, right? We want to push the change to the project. And once the Dependabot found an update, available updates, Dependabot will open a pull request to your repository. And opening the pull request triggers tests. This can be a unit test, functional test, or integration test, and so on. And also display the results in the pull request. And as the engineer, you will monitor the results, review the results, and then make the decision if you can merge the pull request into your master's branch. You can also send some action commands for the Dependabot to, for example, you can send the rebasing command to ask Dependabot to get an update from the master branch. And then Dependabot will perform the action as accordingly to your request. So here's the full workflow, very simple one. And okay, sorry. Maybe something is wrong. Okay. No. Hold on. All right. So I'm talking about how we can set up the Dependabot in your project. It's a very straightforward process. It can be done very easily. So once, then you can just enable the Dependabot in the security section in your project setting, and you can add a configuration file for Dependabot. It's called the Dependabot YAML. And you can see on the screen the very simple format of the configuration file with like the version of the file, the bucket ecosystem, which is Composer, and the directory you scan, the week scan. And the schedule is weekly. It's very simple and easy to understand. And based on, by changing the configuration file, you can customize the behavior of the Dependabot to scan your projects and also scan the package managers. All right. Good. And my clients have patched hundreds of security vulnerabilities and also updates like thousands of packages by following these best practices that I'm going to share it with you. First one, focus on most important security updates. Dependabot send the alerts for the security updates, and it also provide the most important score that you can use, and try to focus on that as a top priority for you. Second, try to proceed your pull request as fast as possible, because if you just leave your pull request untouched, that means you're not really using Dependabot. Dependabot just open and then nothing else. And as you remember in the workflow, there's a test suite that you need to execute when the pull request is open, just to make sure that the pull request is safe to merge. So try to add all the checks needed for the pull request to be able to understand that once I merge the pull request, it's safe, totally safe for me, and also can deploy on the production. Last one. Okay, still. Okay, and last one, keep your dependency up to date. Why? Because if you always keep your dependency up to date, it's very easy for you if there's any security exposure for the new version of your dependency. So because the current version is very close to the target version we want to update. So there's no problem for you if there's any new security threat file. All right. So Dependabot is totally free and offered by GitHub for free for every repository, including public or private repositories. And they also offer a demo repository. It's called Dependabot demo. You can check on the link, and you can completely try it out. The features of Dependabot with just by forking this repository. Because it's really hard to have a full demo for you today, so I would like to walk you through the screenshot that I taken to show you how Dependabot was in action. Okay, but it's something is still not working. All right. So after forking the repository, you can go to the project setting, the code security and analysis section to enable the Dependabot alerts. So this is the first one. And also, you can also enable the Dependabot security updates and the version update as well to use the full features of Dependabot. Just click on the button and enable it. Very simple. Once it's enabled, you will have the new tab on the project page, the main page, which is called securities. And you can click on it to see the security alerts. Okay. Come on. Okay, good. And here's the screen of security alerts. As you can see, there's a most important score sorted by most important score by default. So just focus on the top priority here. Try to make because this is securities vulnerabilities that you need to solve as soon as possible. And you can also open the pull request link to the security alerts by clicking on the link. Yes, and here's the screen that showing all the open pull requests opened by the Dependabot, and you can review them. And here's the slide. Wait. Well. And here's the details page of the pull request. Here's a lot of information, very helpful for you to review the pull request. You can check the commit, what changed compared to the current version. And you can also check like the compatibility over there is also available. And below is the test and the check needed for the pull request. You can also here, you can chat with the Dependabot as a chatbot to send the comments like rebase or recreate just to control the pull request behaviors. And yeah, and that's it for today, for my talk. So do you have the question for the Dependabot? Any
Question,
excited?
everyone?
Yes. Anyone having question? Got a concern?
All right.
Want to share?
We have one.
Thank you for your representation. I just have a question about the version that the Dependabot constraint when it decides to open a pull request. It's just a patching security version, or it could be a minor version or major version that it can open the pull request. You understand my question?
So you mean the focus of the Dependabot is security updates or also minor version update?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, it's two features of Dependabot. You can also enable the security updates on. Can you show the screen again, please? IT, the slide. Wow. Okay. So in this slide, as you can see, Dependabot security updates and Dependabot version updates. For your question, the minor version update is Dependabot version updates. So you need to enable this feature to use the configuration. As you can see, .github Dependabot YAML file to control the version update. And and if you enable Dependabot security updates, you will see the alerts. You will see the new tab on your project. Does it answer your question?
Yeah, indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any
Anyone
other
else?
question? Any other question?
Or you just want to share experience with security updates? Then I can discuss.
Okay.
Hi. So thank you for
Yeah.
the presentation also. I have a question. So what is the time to set up Dependabot? It's like as easy as you showed, like just click, 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 click. Nice.
Yes, it's just a few clicks and it's enabled because it seamlessly integrate to the GitHub, the version control platform that you're using. And Dependabot is also is supported by popular packages, the version control platforms like Bitbucket or GitLab as well. So just a few clicks and it's enabled, ready to use. Thank you for the question.
Have anyone else have any questions?
Hi. Does it work with all kind of languages?
Over here.
Um, so your question is about the languages, right?
Yeah.
The languages support by the Dependabot.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not about the languages, but about the package managers. So your language will have the package manager for that. For example, PHP will be composer and packages, right? So an npm and for JavaScript. So you can check on the Dependabot documentation for the supported package managers and the languages as well. And already support a lot of package managers. So I think because we are using common languages, so I think Dependabot already support all of them. So no worries, just try it out. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Hello. Thank you your presentation. I have the question. For example, my project is BSP 7.4 and dependent pods require some dependency to update and it related to BSP 8. So if I upgrade and it will have some problem about the version, and in that case, do you have any suggestion to control when I upgrade?
Okay. So from my understanding, your question is about upgrading the PHP 7 to the PHP 8. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And dependency related PHP new version.
Yeah, actually, Dependabot is only about automating the updating dependencies. Is not. It doesn't have anything to do with how would you like to update and how you make sure that it's okay for updating. I mean, Dependabot cannot say. Sorry, Dependabot cannot say how you should update your dependencies, but just allow you to control the process. It's only one thing. So if you want to update the dependency to PHP 8, you need to have your own strategy, and you can set up the automatic approach for using the Dependabot. So Dependabot just like a bot to support you. It cannot just provide like a full-fledged solution for upgrading dependencies in your project. It just cannot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your question.
Anyone else have any question for Dung here?
Yeah, anyone else? Or you can just share your experience with Dependabot. Anyone using Dependabot already? No? Okay.
All right. So if we do not have any more questions, so thank you, Dung, for your awesome presentation.
Thank you.
So we will have around like 10